All right, greetings, family. Greetings, family. This is Saturday School discussion, week 7. Week 7 on how do we address racism and oppression in our lives and in society. What can people of color, especially men, do to change the tide of destruction taking place in our lives, homes, and communities? All right? Okay. Let's see here. We're trying to get back to. All right. In our lives, homes, let's stop avoiding the issue and let us have a real soul-searching discussion, which cuts both ways. We have to look at our own responsibility in this matter as well. But first, we must understand our situation. Before you can resolve an issue, you must understand what the issue is, get the facts before we can think clearly in addressing a real solution. Where is the passion that all men should have to reach their full potential in life? No matter the barriers placed in your path. Somebody who inspired me and motivated me and all of a sudden that passion, that flame, that torch as a young man caught on, right? Where's that passion, brothers? Where's that passion? We love our sisters, but men have to stand up. We have to be the warriors in this matter. Let our women support us. About 50% doing their own thing, and the 50% love us and want to nurture us and see us do the right thing. Amen? All right. So life is too short. It's so short. So will we intentionally leave our children a legacy of poverty and despair because of our apathy? Of course not. Of course not. So first, my intention of every message is to motivate and inspire. And we have a online ministry to do just that. We have a 3-pronged ministry, the Temple of Inner Peace and Prosperity, the University of Our Home program, and the Boardwalk School of Economics, right? And then we have our business department, Boardwalk Management and Investment Group. We manage, first of all, we invest in ourselves and we manage our lives and our businesses properly and efficiently. Because we are the only person that can save ourselves. And that's the whole thing about this religion is that you're relying on an outward force to do what you're supposed to be doing for your own self. I call that abdicating personal responsibility. So as individuals, we must take personal responsibility. Have faith in you and your task, because we all know that God works through us. So that means we have to be the best. In order to be a good vessel, we have to be the best that we can possibly be. Right? We just can't be so mentally infirm that we can't work well with others. They call it so religious, so spiritual that you're no earthly good, right? So religious that you're no earthly good. So we have to be able to work with others. Work with others. All right, so the thing, like I said, it's about personal growth and development. Before anything can change in our lives, we have to first look and change ourselves. And sometimes we're in a situation, in a relationship, because we're in a toxic situation. So a lot of the people in our lives are toxic. We may be even not toxic ourselves. No one's perfect. But we're trying to do, and that's why I introduced Maya to you. It gets back to the ancient teachings, so that way you understand your responsibility as an individual to yourself. We took the light off ourselves and saying, oh, you a sinner, you ain't no good, you nothing but filthy rags, and then you got this mind, call it mind walk. You know what I'm saying? And now you got this deception in your mind that you ain't nothing anyway. And some people's character and minds are weak, feeble-minded. And you pass this generational curse, this thought process on from one generation to another. You go to church and you listen to somebody badgering you, poverty pimps in the pulpit. They badgering your mind, telling you that you ain't nothing, and then you don't allow yourself to lead the block. You don't read, you don't study, you don't mingle with other people, you don't enlighten your mind. And that's what education is about. Enlightening your mind. Open up the Claud channel, so that way you can see things a little clearly than in that little box that we put ourselves. So the thing is that we have to develop ourselves and we have to develop our minds. And then the spirit of Maya, it teaches us these principles. They're not ambiguous. They're not vague. They're clear-cut principles that you should raise your children up in. So that way it becomes first nature, second nature. That you live a life according to these principles. Because Jesus, he went into Egypt during that time frame, and the stories in the Bible, that's not accurate, because there was a relationship between Israel and Egypt. They actually were on the borders. So you get conflicting information from what's in the Bible versus historical facts. That's why I love the studying of history, true factual history, not the history that we've been indoctrinated with, because we fail to look beyond the nonsense, right, that we've been indoctrinated with. So this is in order we want to get out of the situation that we're in, but we don't know how. So I'm a finance guy. Economics, studied economics, finance, law. So in order to get out of this situation, first of all, let's paint this picture. United States government is a business entity. The Black community is a department within that entity, and we're dysfunctional because we can't work together. We have talent, the best of talent, but there's no organizational structure. There's no coordination. All right, you just throw you out to the wind. Nobody cares. Nobody's organizing. The politicians aren't organizing. They're pretty much worthless because they playing with them instead of playing, in the field, in the game field that they should be involved in, right? So they're a perfect example of the best being sucked away and getting caught up in nonsense because they get a paycheck, right? The gatekeepers, they get a paycheck to oppress. So the thing is how do we organize ourselves as a viable department within a major corporation, right? And we don't have any leadership. Because when President Obama was in office, he said some eloquent things. He wasn't really got out there and did some things that he should have done, like Abraham Lincoln. He freed the slaves, right? He did a profound thing. And he's living in an age where we see what's going on. But as far as something major, we had nothing coming our way, right? Something ground shattering. But that's the fallacy. That's the fallacy of it all. See, because what he did was put the ball in our. He was an example, a positive example, because we related to the color of his skin and so forth. And he had good character, and at least no scandals came out, anything like that. The family man had children, so that should have been a good example for families to follow. I understand that when he was in office, the graduation rate among Black students increased dramatically. But see, that inspiration has to be a continuous way of life. And then the good words in the books that he's written and some inspirational words, those are like, and I mentioned this before, if you had good leadership in the community and the pulpit and stuff, those value systems would have been reflected back into the community and into the individuals. And then made sure that there were systems in place where the children were educated and businesses began to be created. And I made sure our children were productive and in a position where they could become president, male or female, one day. And we don't have that. So what I've done was create this three-pronged ministry that deals with the spiritual nature, the mind, critical thinking aspects, university education on economics, financial matters. Your house is a business. So in order for you to be successful, you have to learn what it is to be a success. So we provide all those skills that you need. And people want to be happy, right? And the best way to be happy is be the best person that you can be. Be a productive participant in the community, society, whatever. But being able to, because if you can't pay your bills, you don't have money, resources, no matter what your political or economic belief, you'll be forced in a situation where you steal, kill, just rob, and destroy so you can have. And that's unfortunately the nature of man, is that if I don't have it, I have to take it from you. And I can understand that in the wild and nature and so forth, when it's, if you don't do what's right, the lions are going to eat you up. Lions, tigers, and bears, right? But in a civilized society where you have the opportunity to prepare yourself so that you don't have to rob others, and so that you can benefit. The thing in the drug craze in our community was that families were destroyed so a handful of individuals could live large and feed their families. Then they end up being arrested. Then they get out of prison, and now they want to do something to help the communities that they destroyed. We need to learn from these mistakes and not repeat them over and over again. Man, all right. So the program, like I said, go to powerthroughunity.org. Put your name, email address there, and enroll into the program. It's a rich curriculum, and I introduce you to Maya. And people talk about, the rapture, God's going to come save us, and then the blood of Jesus and all that. But supposing all of that is true, right? When you talk about being raptured, what is the criteria that they will use to decide that you're the one that's going to be raptured? What is the criteria? It's how you live your life, your heart, right? And the favorite black one female anthem is "God Knows My Heart." Yeah, you will. It comes down to that at the end of the day. But your deeds have to line up with your heart. You can't do something crooked and say, well, God knows my heart. Yeah, he will at the end of the day. And that's how you get through. Because it's a scam. And it's very basic. And all the other religions that plagiarized themselves after that particular concept add their little flavor to it. But let's get back to the basics. Your heart has to be as light as a feather. And I go through those lessons. And no matter what your religious belief, you can incorporate these principles. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Your religion, your belief system, you want to get to the next level of peace and harmony in your transition. Because this life is limited and it's short. And we believe that if we live a good life, if we do the right things, we will go journey to the next realm. Right? So my is basic. It's the law. People say, the New Testament did away with the law. That's why kids are locked up